Hey guys, this is Boss Baby Beauty 16 by Jenny and welcome back to my channel. My apologies, I am doing a voiceover for this video and the next video because my mic took a dump and I didn't want to have to record the whole video because I was just like, that would be too much recording two different videos, but I can fairly explain to you guys fairly well what we're going to be doing in today's tutorial. So we are going to be doing a glitter eye look with the Tati palette. Yay! Super excited about that. And it's not going to be anything too hard. So the first thing you're going to want to do is grab your P. Louise eye base, and we are going to pat that on both of our eyes. And as you can see here, I'm basically just going to grab a sponge and start putting my most favorite eye base on. So if you don't know about the P. Louise eye base, it's totally amazing. It actually makes your eyeshadow so opaque, which is why I use it in every video. So I have my little cute heart sponge, and I'm going to go ahead and be patting that on both of the eyes. And once I pat it in, you will notice that I'm going to take my finger and basically just smooth everything out. So here I go. I'm just basically patting in all of that eye base, making sure there are no creases. And once you're done with that eye, of course, do the same thing to the other eye. We gotta be even here. And next, what we're going to do is we're gonna take the color Aurora, the matte color on the Tati palette, and we're just going to kind of use that as our eye base. So we're going to pat that in both of our eyes, and that once again is the color Aurora from the matte section. And then we are going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other eye. Okay, so now that we have Aurora patted in, we're basically going down the matte section. And the next color we are going to take is called Soothe. And we are going to now put that on the outer corners of our eye. So what you're going to notice, what I'm going to do here is once I put that color on the outer eye, I'm going to start in circular motions, and I'm really lightly going to, feather this color in and slowly build it up. And as you can see here, I'm doing circular motions and then I'm swiping, doing windshield swiper motions per se. So there you go, circle around and then just start swiping in the color on the, going towards the inner corner of the eye. So after we have done that, we're going to go and do the other eye. So go ahead and just use circular motions. Be sure to keep a light hand here and then just swipe in towards the inner corner of the eye. Okay, so now that we have the outer corners done, we need to do the same thing to the inner corners. So we're going to take that same color Soothe, do circular motions but starting from the inner corner of the eye and kind of slowly dragging its way about midway to halfway towards the other corner. So our main goal here is to basically kind of keep the center of the eye with no color, and do the same thing to the other eye. So start on the inner corner, circular motions, and then swipe in. Okay, so we are now going to our next color, which is called Story, that pretty orange. And what we're basically going to do is layer that on top of Soothe. And start off just how we did before, circular motions, and start swiping inwards. And we want to keep that centered pretty clean so nothing really goes into the center, but you do want to drag it in somewhat towards that area. So keep doing your circular motions and swiping in. And then we are going to do the same thing on the other eye. So as you can see, same thing here, starting from the outer corner of the eye in a circular motion and just blending in, but keeping that center pretty clean from any shadow to come through. And what we're going to do next after this is we're going to do the same process but start with the inner corners of our eye. Okay, so we are now blending in the inner corners of our eye, doing the same process, using that circular motion and keeping the center clean, and then do the same thing to the other eye. So we are doing the same thing to the other eye, starting in circular motions and then doing sweeping out motions. Okay, you guys, so now that we have Story put in, we are now using the darker brown color, which is called Ritual, and this is still a matte. And we're going to go through the same process, starting from the outer corner of the eye, just doing circular motions and blending it in, but not totally towards the center. Here I'm layering the colors, and basically you're going to want to do swiping up motions after we circle out, kind of like if we were doing a cat eye, and then staying within the crease, which is really important when we do or add in this darker color. Alright, you guys, so same process for the other eye. You're going to kind of move, swipe up and down like if you were drawing on an eyeliner or cat eye, but then stay within that crease and swipe it in towards that crease. So as you can see, I'm kind of going in, and then I'm moving up in a 45 angle like if I was doing eyeliner. Alright, now we are moving into the inner corner of the eye, and we're doing the same thing. We're layering that color in and dragging it in almost to the center of the eye, and we are just very, very lightly feathering this in because we don't want to give ourselves raccoon eyes. So we just want to make sure everything's nice and evenly blended, and we're going to do the same thing to the other eye. Okay, we're still using that same color Ritual and just blending it in only on the inner corner of the eye. I go back from circular motions to swiping motions just to make sure that color is nice and evenly out. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to touch things back up. So we're going to take that orange color, Story, and we're going to go ahead and dust it over the color Ritual and the color Soothe, just to brighten things back up from colors that we may have lost. Just use a very light hand and touch up any areas that where you felt where color may have been lost on both eyes. Okay, so now what you guys are going to need to do is you're going to need to grab a flat brush, and you're going to need to grab your eye base or whichever eye base you use. Of course, I'm once again using the P. Louise eye base, and what we're now going to start doing is actually cutting the center of our crease to get a really nice opaque halo eye. Alright, so now what I'm doing is getting that eye base and just putting it on the center of the eye where it really doesn't have any color. You can look up to better further cut that crease, but it's whichever, you know, it's easiest for you. All I like to do is I basically make like a little block. So it's just a kind of like a tiny square starting from where my pupil of my eye is and where there's basically no color. So you don't want to go too far out on the outer corner. Try to stick to the center of the eye. And then once we're done with this eye, we are going to go, of course, do the same thing to the other eye. Okay, so now moving on to the other eye, we're basically just putting it on the center just as we done on the other eye. Make a small block. Make sure when you're putting this on the center of your eye that you're just using small stroke motions to keep the eye base as thin as possible. When you are putting this on as well, just go over that crease just a tad tiny bit, just a little bit, and just come down, make that cute little block, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the next step. Alright, so on the next step, you're going to need another flat brush that's totally clean. The color that we are going to be taking is now a metallic color, and the metallic color that we are going to be using is called Story Metallic. Story Metallic is the color we'll be using, and we're going to be patting that on the top of the eye base. So basically on the center of our eyelids, and then just start smoothing it in, pat it, cover all of that eye base up with the color Story Metallic. Alright, now let's go ahead and start patting that color into the other eye once the first eye was done. And as you can just see here, I'm just patting that color in, making sure it's opaque and everything is smooth. Next, I will be taking my finger and we are just going to rub that in Story Metallic and pat that over our eyelids just to make sure the color is absolutely opaque. And do that, of course, to both eyes. Alright, after we have rubbed the color in on both eyes, we are not done yet. You're going to need a new blending brush, and this time we are going into the color, let me double check what that color is called. It is called Memory, Matte Memory, and it's the black color that's in the Tati palette. And now we must be really careful with this color, you guys, because it's definitely highly pigmented. So what I'm doing is I'm swiping up like if I were doing cat motions, but then going towards the inner center of the eye just a bit so I can blend that metallic color and this matte color in. So I'm sticking basically to the outer corners of the eye, only specifically on this color, which is that black matte color that's called Memory. Alright, doing the same thing to the other eye here, just swiping up like if we were doing a cat eye, staying within the crease and blending that black in towards the metallic color and dragging it out towards the outer edge of our eye. Okay, so my camera didn't catch this part, but what we basically want to do now is after we do the outer corners of our eye, just as we've been doing before, grab that same matte black color and blend it on both of the inner corners of the eye. And you're going to see me slightly do that here really quick. It just didn't get the whole thing. And then just blend it in and do the same thing to the other eye. Alrighty, so next what you're going to want to do is take a flat brush. We're going into that color Story, that orangey color. And this is actually going to be Story Sequence now. So it's not going to be the metallic, it's going to be the sequence Story. And we are going to pat that on the bottom of our eyes, and then you're going to go ahead and do the same thing and pat that color on the bottom of the other eyelid. Alright, so after we have our bottom eyelids filled in with that sequence color, you are now going to need a eye glue. For glitter, you can use any eye glue you have, will honestly work. And if you want to do it without eye glue, that's okay. What I'm using right here is the Anastasia glitter eye glue, and I'm just going to put that only on the center of my eyelids, and I'm going to of course do that to both eyes. You're basically just covering the area where you had put that other metallic color over. So just in the center of our eyes, and that's where we're actually going to apply our glitter. Yay, my favorite part now. So we are finally going to apply the glitter to the center of our eyelids, and the glitter color we're using is Story Glitter. And you're just gonna you can use your brush. I prefer to use my fingers because I feel like the glitter sticks a whole lot better. And you're just gonna pat that right over where you put the glue, and then just put it right on in. It will stick very well. And of course do the same thing to the other eye. Make sure you build up the glitter where it's to your liking. So I like to really pack in my glitter, and it just looks so nice over that metallic color. Okay, finally to the end of the look. So what you're going to need here is a makeup remover wipe, and what we're going to do is clean the outer corners of our eyes. So you're basically just going to start from the outer bottom corner, swipe up in an angle, and of course do the same thing to the other eye. Once you're done with this, you guys, I'm going to come back with my lashes and the full look, and you guys can go ahead and let me know what you thought about this and if it was easy to follow with the voiceover. And we'll see you guys in just a short few seconds. Okay, you guys, here is the final look for the Halo Glitter Eye with the Tati palette. There's a close-up for you guys. I'm batting my lashes. What do you guys think of this look? If you're wondering what I use for my eyelashes, I'm using the Jamira eyelashes. For my lips, I'm using the NYX liquid lipsticks. I can never pronounce it right the first time. And Succulent, and the other color I believe is Push Up. And then finally I'm using a color from the Beauty of the Beast lip gloss palette, and I topped my lips off with lip gloss. If you're also wondering about this hairstyle I did, I am doing a tutorial on this hairstyle. So if you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're wondering about the hairstyle, that is in the description box links below, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye!